Welcome back to the channel. If you are learning AI, GenAI, LLM, DevOps, or DevSecOps, then understanding vector databases is extremely important because modern applications like ChatGPT, RAG systems, AI search engines, and AI chatbots heavily depend on vector databases. So in this video, we'll start from absolute basics and understand everything step by step. So let's get started with today's video, which is on vector database. So let's first start with what is vector database. So vector database is basically a AI used a database, which is used for storing vector embeddings that we'll understand later, and used for the AI applications, LLM applications. Yeah. So these databases are basically used in the AI applications specifically. Yeah, because vector database basically supports similarity and semantic search. Yeah. So what are similarity and semantic search? So similarity search basically where basically it find things numerically closer together. So what that means is basically uh, uh, how vector are basically converted into numerical, right? So let's first understand that part, and then we can clearly understand what similarity and semantic search is. So if we see the flow diagram, first we have a user query. So a user can basically prompt or input any query, and that query will basically convert into embeddings. Yeah, the embeddings are nothing but basically first the text is converted into numbers, and the numbers is basically converted into vectors. Yeah, and this complete process is called embeddings, and that complete embedding basically stores in the vector database in the form of vectors, and then sends the relevant data to the AI and LLM application. Yeah. So similarity search is basically where the similar vectors which are closer together based on their distance or so. So that basically it finds the similar vector in the vector database. So the semantic search is basically it gives us the input prompt intelligently. Yeah, but basically in terms of more intelligent behaviors, more intelligent search. Yeah, which has the similar meanings. Yeah, instead of just the similarity uh, in terms of words or in terms of the prompts, it gives us the similar meanings. Yeah. So let's see this based on an example. Yeah. Suppose if a user searches pizza near me. Yeah. This is the input or this is the prompt. So when we type on the ChatGPT or any other application. So the similar or in terms of the similarity search, where it finds the similar things, right? It will find or it will give us the result as cheese pizza. It will give us the veg pizza, Italian restaurant, pasta cafe, or fast food outlet. Yeah. So based on the similar patterns or similar in terms of words, so it will give us the search result. So now we have the semantic search. Yeah. So that will basically understand the context or the meaning of that in terms of the sentence or in terms of the input prompt, which is the pizza near me. So based on this, it will give us the result like so nearby restaurant serving pizza, best Italian food near current location. Yeah. So late night pizza delivery. So as we have are given the prompt as pizza near me. So if you focus on the near me, right? So it will basically give us the result as near current location. So based on that, it finds the pattern, it sees the vector, and according to that vector, it finds the similar vectors or similar in terms of the vectors which are located nearby, and accordingly it gives the semantic search. Yeah. So now, so what is a vector? So vector is basically a numerical representation of data. It is text, whether it is images, audio, or video, that all basically can become or that to convert into a vector. Yeah. So if we see the vector from a very layman terms, right? So if we see in terms of the example, like we'll take one example as pizza. So then that pizza as a word or as a prompt, that basically converts into a numerical number, which basically called vector, and that vector which every numerical number has a meaning. So so vector will basically store in the vector database, and according to these numbers or according to these numerical numbers, it will give us the search result based on the semantic search. Yeah. So according to the word, uh, there are different numerical numbers as per the calculation, and it forms a vector, and then it stores in the vector database. So this is basically what the vector means. So now how the vector database works. So basically, first we have a text, then the text is converted into a number, then it forms a vector, and then it basically uh, forms a complete embedding process, and then this goes into the vector database for storing it. Yeah, for storing these vectors with the metadata, store vectors with metadata, and then accordingly, based on the nearby vectors or based on the nearest neighbor search, it finds the results, or it search the semantic search based on the similar search. Yeah, so based on this, the vector databases works. So now there are vector databases available based on the open source, based on the commercials. So some popular vector databases are Pinecode, VV8, Himmelbus, and Chroma. So some of the common use cases for the vector database is they are basically used in the RAG-based this AI chatbots. So there is a separate RAG pipeline that we'll cover later in the uh, series. Yeah. So next use case is the recommendation systems. So according to your application, according to your product, it will give the recommendations. And next is the semantic search. So as I discussed about the semantic search, so this is also basically very common or a core feature of vector database as a semantic search. So this is all for our today's video. I'll cover next based on a vector database demo based on one of popular vector database available. And till then, stay tuned, keep learning, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, view, and share with your friends.